It's a strange sensation that he can't describe. It feels like his memories are being shuffled around. He experienced something like this before, after he saved Masaharu, but this is on a much larger scale. It's as if, now that his present time has returned to normal, Shu's brain is regaining the memories that he should have had if Chiaki had been alive this whole time. No, not as if. That's exactly what's happening here, Shu realises. His brain starts to overflow with new memories. Strangely enough, they are formed right alongside his old ones. It's a strange disconnect where he has two different sets of memories on the exact same time period. He wonders if eventually he'll get the two sets of memories confused. Well, I mean, once people start speaking 3 different languages, they get some stuff confused. You're completely fucked if your thoughts are 2 different things at the same time. As Shu begins to lose consciousness completely, one particularly new memory floats to the surface. One early evening, Shu was lazing around in the dormitory common room and was sort of watching television. At least the television was turned on. Shu was half napping at this point, so he hardly knew what was going on in the show at all. Chances are it's a soap opera. You don't need to know. Just try and guess. Someone probably murdered someone or got bankrupt or lost his job or something like that. You're bound to be close enough. Shu could hear Natsume rummaging through the refrigerator in the dorm kitchen, probably just trying to find something to snack on when the dorm landline phone rang. Natsume glanced over in Shu's direction, but when it was clear his younger brother had no intention of picking up the phone, Natsume picked it up, hesitant. Hello? Yes, this is Natsume. What? Shu was too far away to hear the other side of the conversation, so things were rather one-sided from where he was sitting. Natsume sounded increasingly nervous as the phone call dragged on. No. I couldn't possibly... Hello? She hung up. Curiosity getting the better of him, Shu stretched and rose from his chair. Is he not going to tell us? Natsume, what's up? That was... I think that's your ChrisTenarium? No. The mother? I think. On the phone just now. She's come down with the flu, so she wants me to cook dinner. I don't know who that is. Isn't that fine? You like cooking after all? Yeah, but for 40 people? Holy shit. Suddenly, Natsume's eyes lit up with excitement. Sensing trouble, Shu backed away, but Natsume grabbed his arm in a pincer-like grab. Shu... Yes? No, I'm not helping you. Oh, fuck off. I don't want to help you. That sounds like so much effort. You'll help me, won't you? You want to eat dinner too, don't you? Yes, but not to this scale. I could order takeaway. That's much easier. I could always eat out, yeah, see? Shu, he's on the right line of thinking here. Don't you? Yeah, okay, I'd love to help, Natsume. I feel like this is kidnap. Shu said this with obvious fake enthusiasm, but Natsume smiled at him nonetheless. She told me where the dorm budget funds were, so I'm to take money from there and buy ingredients from the supermarket. What if you... Oh, that's the maid. Okay, got it. What if you run off with the entire budget? If I did that, everyone would know exactly who did it. True, Natsume, sometimes you're pretty smart. What? Pretty smart? Well, I was given the money and it no longer existed, and I swear I know of no idea where it is. Just think for a few seconds, Shu. That's not clever. It's not even thinking on your feet. It's just common sense. After Natsume spent a little bit of time planning a course menu for dinner, he made a list of ingredients they'd need. He and Shu then went into town to buy things the dorm kitchen didn't already have on hand. With Natsume being so used to buying ingredients, it didn't take too long before the two of them were on their way back to the dorm again. Once there, Natsume started getting settled in the kitchen again. He often used the dorm kitchen to prepare lunches, but this was his first time cooking on such a large scale. Being the less experienced one, Shu generally just did what he was told without making a fuss. That's the best way to cook. If you don't know how to cook, just let the other guy tell you what to do. It's so much easier. I'm speaking from the perspective of someone who just can't fucking cook at all. I follow recipes and do them well. That's the talent of my cooking. It's terrible. I can make a good chicken balti. Can't do anything by myself. The kitchen was soon filled with delicious smells, and Natsume prepared a veritable, not even trying it, of dishes. During a quiet moment while they waited for some of the sauces to simmer, Shu tried to make conversation. I forget, what got you started on cooking anyway? I feel like you've been the family cook for as long as I can remember, but Natsume hesitated for a long moment before answering. It was thanks to Fuyuka, really. I guess you're too young to remember at all, but when you two were little, she really liked the speciality dish at this one restaurant. I don't even remember what it was anymore. But Mum and Dad were too busy to take her there often. This made her really sad since it was her favourite food, so I tried to recreate the dish at home. I don't know if I really got it, but I was close enough that she was really happy. It's truly a touching moment. Well, Mum and Dad didn't really have time, and I didn't have money, so I started cooking to make your dead little sister happy. It just doesn't touch me, if you know what I mean. Afterwards, I guess it just stuck. I liked seeing you all happy when I cooked things. That's all there is to it, really. Well, I mean, we know who a taker would be in a relationship. Fuyuka, huh? That's it? That's the coldest thing I could say. No, that's a terrible thing. Shu continued helping his brother in silence as old memories of his twin sister filled his mind. He always thought that the pain would dull out eventually, but even now he surprised himself with just how much he missed her. Don't worry, we're going to be able to save her, with dire consequences. The ties that bind. Mate, if you're getting yourself into that much of a bind, maybe stop doing bondage with Kisuke. I mean, it looks from... You're either really enjoying something being put in from behind you or he's taking you against your will. I don't want to know the answer to either of those. So, it's now 1st of November. How many days have we skipped? No idea. I can't remember. An amount. The Meisei Cultural Festival comes and goes. Oh, thank God. Oh... do you mean this is a school game in which we don't have to participate in some inane festival about some inane subject and get closer to someone over? I'm surprised. Shu finds every excuse possible not to participate in the planning process and then spends most of his time at the actual festival wandering around and or flirting with people. He'd be inclined to call that a success on his part, though Masaharu vehemently disagrees. By the time November rolls around, Shu's memories have finished sorting themselves out and life for him starts getting back to relative normalcy. Relative normalcy, other than we can still travel through time. Other than that, though... New message! Is it Kisuke? But I mean, it has to be. Good job saving Chiaki. I know all this has been hard, but you're doing great. That just sounds like you're setting me up for something different, but... Thanks, I guess. Shu's sitting in his dorm room working on an essay. Chiaki's currently out. Shu's not exactly sure where, but assumes that his roommate is spending time with his mother, as has been the norm for the last few weeks. Of course he is. I mean, why wouldn't he? Absently, Shu flicks his time machine watch open and closed. His heart's not really in the assignment. If Chiaki were here, no doubt he'd be complaining about the noise. When Shu looks a little more closely at the time machine screen, however, he sees that Chiaki's homework assignment is missing. He begins to panic for a moment before recalling that something similar happened after he saved Masaharu. Maybe when you change the past as much as I did, it makes the memento disappear or something. It can't be that! That sounds far-fetched. Makes the memento disappear when you try and change whatever. Oh, I don't know. I'm a high school student, not a scientist. But there has to be some explanation, right? This doesn't happen to any of the other stuff. His speculations don't make him feel much better, though. So we're just flying in time now, are we? Oh, no, okay, it's him. Presently, there's a bright white flash of light. Shu almost isn't even surprised when Kisuke appears and figures that Chiaki won't be back for a while. Yo. Yo! And he sort of adapted to sort of, click his fingers pose, just like, yo, how you doing? Like, oh man. It's like Joey Tribbiani this shit. Oh my god, I have a different set of clothes. I'm always surprised when this happens in games, and I shouldn't be because it should be normal. But it's nice nonetheless. I thought you said it was hard to get to this time period. Oh, it is, but I lucked out and got my hands on a memento that actually lasted all the way to the future. Huh? Really? How'd you get here this time? Well, one of the rival bakeries in this area actually came up with a new type of pastry this morning. The head baker wrote a receipt down on the sheet of paper, so here I am. Whatever. That's it. The recipe was signed and dated, so it was easy to track this back to this time period. I've always says time period like he's in the fucking Jurassic era. It's still the same time period, it's just a different year. I did have to run all the way over here, though. I just changed to action mode so you could see me. So you've been sitting here this whole time watching me work on my essay? I guess so. Maybe my first impression of him being a creepy stalker wasn't too far off. Too far off? It's almost certainly right with some of the stuff he's saying. I'm not sure I like the look on your face. Something on your mind? Yes, you were looking at me without my knowledge for the last fucking half an hour. That's weird. No, nothing. You're lying. Oh wait, the memento I used to save Chiaki disappeared, just like after I saved Masaharu. Again? Really? Asked Natsume about what happened last time, and he said that it was just a fluke. Maybe there's a link here. Oh, you think? You think there might be a link? You're lying. Look at his sketchy eyes looking to the right of the room as if something very important had just appeared at the doorway, but we know Chiaki isn't coming. He's lying. Since it really only happens to mementos I used to save people, maybe that's the reason? I mean, I'm changing the past a lot, so maybe that's what makes the mementos disappear. It's possible, but I think Natsume would know about that. Yeah, it doesn't have a fucking mind of its own. I think we're right. Yeah, if Natsume invented it, he should know why stuff like that happens. Well, I wouldn't worry about it too much, Shu. It'd be one thing if the memento disappeared before you could see it, but it's after the fact. Well, you've already done what you needed to do with it anyway. Yeah, that's true. You don't look satisfied with that. No, it's just... this whole thing is so weird. First Masaharu was targeted, then Chiaki. That can't just be a coincidence. What if they kill someone else I know? Because it's a very small circle of people. I mean, I'm starting to suspect this guy a little bit, because let's face it, Natsume would have probably have come back just to confirm all of this, you know? For someone who's so close to his family, he's just like, oh yeah, whatever, take care of it yourself, I don't care. There's a whole bunch of things it could be. There's no use wondering about it, you just have to do what you have to do to save them afterwards. And this is something I was worried about when Chiaki got killed, but what if someone dies and it's not the killer's fault? Well, say Natsume gets pneumonia and dies, or... You're thinking about your sister, aren't you? Now it's my turn to look shadily to the side. As your mentor, I would say that you shouldn't save them in that case. Their death was supposed to happen and you'll be messing with the flow of the universe if you save their life. But to be honest, if I were in your shoes, I would do whatever it was necessary to save those close to me. I wouldn't let anything get in my way. What? What's with that look? No, it's just, I've never once thought of you as my mentor. We were having a deep moment, Shu. You just ruined it. Ruined. You've taken a knife and stabbed it in the proverbial heart. I hope you're happy. What? Why not? Well, you bubble around a lot and never answer my questions very well. Sometimes I wonder if you really know what the hell you're doing. I mean, yeah, he looks stunned. He has every right to be stunned. He gave us a time machine and we're questioning his competence. Well, with you and Natsume in charge of time travel, no wonder we're having so many problems. You guys still don't know who the killer is, right? Kisuke? Oh, don't mind me. I'm just a useless non-mentor after all. There's no use talking to me. It's not like I really do anything. I'm just a failure who can't even find one time-traveling killer. Kisuke is supremely offended, and it takes you a while to pacify him. The two of them talk for a little while longer about inconsequential things before Kisuke has to return to the future. I mean, what we did say was offensive. I can understand his point of view. Okay, so we just skip forward 2 days. The next 2 days roll by quickly. On a lazy Sunday afternoon, Shu's lounging around in the dorm common room. Since it's Culture Day in Japan, all the students have the day. You have the day off for Culture Day in Japan. Man, no, we had to learn about shit in school when I was in like Spain and Culture Day comes around. Do you know how difficult it is to learn about Spanish culture? Do you know how little there is to the country bar bullfighting and flamenco? It is depressingly not much. Oh God, don't talk to me about the history of Spain. Christ, learn about... Google Civil War. There you are, that's 400 years of history completely, like, sorted. Chiaki kicked him out of their dorm room for making too much noise while watching TV, so Shu's commandeered the common TV set. The other tenants don't seem to be too thrilled about forcing to watch the latest Kamen Rider episode marathon, but then again, Shu never has cared much about what other people think. After the first 2 episodes, the station shows a commercial advertising a new Kamen Rider movie based off the currently running TV show. Don't see it. Movies based off TV shows are never good other than MASH. That's it. Shu jumps in surprise and nearly knocks over the chair he was sitting on. Chair? There's like a sofa. How the hell are you knocking that over? It's also really low to the floor. It's a dwarf sofa, clearly. A movie? And it's already showing at theatres now? Why didn't anyone tell me? Still wearing the same clothes 2 days later. I'm not sure I like what he's wearing. It's very weird. It's like someone tried to fuse a leather jacket with like something a grandmother would knit and didn't quite get it right. I mean, he sort of looks like a dominatrix, but only for people who know the dominatrix code. I mean, look, he's even got leather dog tags. When he starts to calm down a little, Shu recalls that he doesn't really have anyone to watch the movie with. It's awkward going to the cinema alone, and few people around his age appreciate Kamen Rider anymore. Yeah, funny that. Also, yes, I realised I'm saying cinema, not cinema. It's just an English thing, I'm sorry. After thinking it over for a little bit, Shu runs over to Natsume's room where his older brother is enjoying a rare day off. If anyone's going to be roped into going to the movies with me, it's Natsume. He's bad at saying no to me. And we did help him cook. Come on. We did help him cook. That was a thing we did. Has to go now. When Shu lets himself into the room, he finds Natsume not asleep as he expected, but sitting on his bed reading a book. The title of the book, displayed in large bold letters on the cover, is almost incomprehensible to Shu, so he figures it's some sort of old literary anthology. Natsume, oh my god, even he has new clothing. Are you sure he's going to be a time traveller and not some sort of celebrity gardener? All he's missing is a trowel. Natsume looks up from his book. He retains his vacant expression for just a few moments before smiling. Oh, hi Shu, do you need something? I thought you were busy with your marathon. I was, but this commercial for the new movie came on. Did you know about it? A Kamen Rider movie? I had no idea, but I don't really pay attention to things like movies or pop culture anyway, so yeah. So I need to go and see it in the theatre, obviously, and I'm not going to go alone. Natsume stares blankly at Shu for what seems like a very long time before he finally says, "Oh, so you want me to go with you, that's why you came." This is the guy who invented time travel in the future. We're fucked as a species.